Hey, Dr. Joe here from Atlas Health, and really getting a lot of questions, obviously, about COVID and or the coronavirus, and what are we recommending? And so I want to make a little video today, just kind of summarizing a few things, and also discussing what's taken so long with the video. And so we're saying, obviously, this is attached to a newsletter, so a lot of the basics of what our Atlas response is going to be to the crisis is there. And I have to tell you, there's a lot of hysteria right now, and rightfully so, right? To some extent, we know this is a very serious thing, and to tell people not to panic and to calm down. I found that people, when they're panicking and having a hard time, like a lot of anxiety, I just tell them to not worry. And that seems to be a good strategy, right? So no, okay. So here's the deal. After looking at hundreds and hundreds of different opinions from actual immunologists and epidemiologists and people that are connected with the CDC and people that are real experts in public health and public safety, it's clear that we've lost containment, right? That the idea that we could contain this thing is there. It's no longer an option. So now what? Okay. And everybody has their own opinion or 2 cents on this. So I'm making this video specifically for Atlas Health clients. This isn't like a public thing. I just want to help you understand how we can serve you, our clients. And I have to say, the first thing we just need to do here is understand we need to have some level of acceptance. Okay, a lot of people are freaking out right now, and everybody knows that stress weakens the immune system. So it would be glib to say, oh, well, most of us are going to be okay. Yeah, okay, a lot of people, this is going to be a mild situation as far as their personal health and vitality. But we all know people. I have clients, I have family members that are not in a super great position right now to be facing this threat. Okay, so let's just understand that Atlas is following standard practice and mandated government guidelines as far as dealing with this crisis. So, but we're going to keep the doors open until further notice because we're here for you. Okay, we're part of the healthcare solution, and so we want to make sure that we keep our doors open to aid you any way that we can. But accept that this is here. Accept that we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen exactly with our personal health. We don't know what's going to happen with the health of our loved ones. We don't know what's going to happen to the economy. We don't know what's going to happen to our businesses or our jobs. We don't know any of that stuff. So just trying to wrap our head around that and getting to a level of acceptance and just saying, okay, now that I've accepted that, what can I do? Okay, and so the rest of this video is going to be a little bit about the immune system and what can you do. And I have to tell you, look, there's no protocol for this. Okay, but I can tell you this, like I've been studying neuroendocrine immunology for a very long time, and there is a lot that you can do to support your immune system. But for those of you who are out there with autoimmunity, this is a very interesting proposition. Okay, on the one hand, you're getting bombarded with information about how to take care of this virus and make yourself safe as possible. On the other hand, you have an immune system that's already designed and decided to attack your healthy tissue. So just blanketly supporting your immune system against the virus while you simultaneously attack more tissue and do more harm is not something that we're really trying to support here. So this is part of the reason why you haven't seen notifications from Atlas. Here's what to do. Here's what everybody should do. Okay, the basic hygiene stuff is covered. Wash your hands. Wash your hands with soapy water, yes. Okay, have good hygiene with your fingernails. Might be time to get rid of those beards, guys. Okay, and don't touch your face. All that stuff, we know it, right? It's there. Let's talk for a minute about hand sanitizer. Okay, I'm not recommending you use hand sanitizer. I'm recommending you wash your hands. I'm recommending you maybe carry something that has like smart silver or some sort of we have something called Biotic here, which is antimicrobial. You can rinse your hands off with that stuff, dry them off. Okay, but the thing about hand sanitizer that I don't like is it can work as an endocrine disruptor. It can actually create inflammation in your body. It can create other types of problems with your immune system and your hormones. And if you can avoid that, great. Okay, the other thing about hand sanitizer is if you overdo it, you can actually create cracks in your hands, and you can make your hands very fragile and dry in the skin, which can actually decrease one of your best immune barriers, okay, which is your skin, okay? Let me just tell a little story here, okay? So in our immune system, we have something called innate immune cells, okay? And then we have something called acquired cells, okay? And those acquired cells might be like a Th1 cell. It could be a Th2 cell. They could be a Th3 cell. Okay, they could be a Th9 cell. They could be a Th22 cell. Okay, they could be a Th17 cell. Okay, there's just a lot going on here, right? Now, we have something called total white blood cell count. Okay, and the total white blood cell count looks at your entire army. Okay, it doesn't delineate what type of army you have here necessarily, but the majority of these cells here are going to be something called lymphocytes. That's really here nor there, but some of them are going to be natural killer cells. Some of them are going to be cytotoxic T cells. Some of them are going to be Treg cells. Some of them are going to be plasma cells. Okay, that isn't as important right now as to understand that there just is a map. Okay, now for every white blood cell, okay, for every white blood cell, I'll just say there's one of these guys, there are 10 bacteria in your body. Or to say another way, for every 10 white blood cell, there's 100 bacteria. And for every 10 white blood cell, there's 1,000 viruses. 1,000 viruses already. Your body already has an innate ability to go after a virus, okay? What's nasty about this virus is that none of us have it, so there isn't a herd immunity around this, okay? So the issue is that, yes, technically, it's not as deadly, depending upon who you're listening to, as the flu, okay? And people that are immunocompromised, which means they have low white blood cells or something in this story, okay, or this story is imbalanced, makes them more vulnerable, okay, then those people have a higher risk, right? And that's why when people are older, they tend to have less awesome stories here and here, which makes them more vulnerable. That's just the easiest way to say that, okay? Now, since we're all going to potentially get exposed and none of us have herd immunity, there's just going to be a lot more people getting sick around us, which is why they're trying to keep us home, okay, and keep us from congregating in places and slow the spreading down so that the amount of new cases does not exceed our ability to successfully diagnose and manage the people that are in the severe version of this, okay? So that's why it's really important for you to follow guidelines as far as like staying home, avoiding like places where a lot of people congregate, et cetera, just as taking one for the team, even if you are a relatively healthy individual, okay? Now, aside from the total number of white blood cells and the total number of viruses, okay, there's the environment by which your immune system works in, okay? So do these immune cells live in a happy environment, okay? Or do these immune cells live in a not so happy environment, okay? That's really important, okay? So just to kind of make this summary somewhat brief, okay? If you have autoimmunity, let's say this is a virus, okay? Right here, it's a virus, little guy, okay? Now, This isn't to scale, obviously, okay, but this is healthy tissue, okay? And we'll say this white blood cell here, this Th1 cell, has to make a decision here. Now, this virus could free float, or it could do this. The virus could infect healthy tissue, okay? And so what it does is it gets inside healthy tissue, inside of it, and then it hijacks the DNA of the tissue to replicate. So now you have a bunch of little viruses in here, okay? And then eventually the cell breaks open and you get more viruses out here, okay? That's how it works. Now, this white blood cell identifies that this is an infected cell because it puts a little flag out, okay? This cell does not have a flag. This cell has a different flag, okay? So the white blood cell has to decide, is it going to attack the cell or not? So the white blood cell may want to attack this virus. It may want to attack this cell, destroy the cell to try to kill the cell so that it can't make more viruses, okay? What happens is the damage from that cell, stuff floating around, okay, the debris of the explosion, now other white blood cells can come along and they can look at this and go, oh my God, what is this stuff floating around? And then now a person can start making an attack against this tissue as well. And so because he's attacking this tissue here, now he starts attacking a healthy white blood cell. That's why viruses can cause autoimmunity. It's a really bad deal. Are y'all with me? So the virus infects the tissue flags the immune system destroys it so the virus can't replicate, it creates debris. That debris becomes a target, and now the immune system can accidentally start targeting healthy tissue as being attached to this virus, and that's a mechanism of autoimmunity. If it happens in your joints, you get joint pain. If it happens in your brain, you get brain fog or like numbness and tingling or weakness. If it happens in your heart, you could get palpitations or like arrhythmias. If it happens in your muscles, you could just get fatigue, okay? If it happens to myelin, it could be something called MS, right? So the idea is, okay, we understand that like Epstein-Barr is already out here, herpes virus is already out here. These things are already causing this. Cytomegalovirus is already causing this. And for every 10 white blood cells, there's 1,000 viruses. Okay, so what are we going to do here? Okay, if a person has autoimmunity and they're already attacking healthy tissue, okay, and I give that person a vitamin that upregulates Th1 function, what does that do to healthy tissue? It may help them attack viruses more, but what about healthy tissue? Okay? So this is why you don't see me out there online making a bunch of recommendations for clients as a mass thing, okay? Because first of all, you're all different. Some of you have a lot of white blood cells. Some of you don't have many. Some of you have awesome innate immune function. Some of you have terrible innate immune function. Some of you have awesome adaptive immune function. Some of you have really good adaptive immune function on one of these variables and have really lousy in other variables, okay? Some of you already have autoimmunity and know it. Some of you already have neurodegeneration and you know it. Some of you are already inflamed and you know it. And some of you do not, okay? Some of you already have virally infected cells, okay, that is severe, and some of you do not, all right? So, but the cool thing is you and I can talk about this and we can put together a strategy that meets you where you're at, okay? And I feel really good about that, okay? Because I know a lot of you are freaking out right now, and I understand why, okay? But I want you to know that there's a way we can put our heads together and make sure that we get you the right thing at the right time and the right amount to support your immune system where it's vulnerable, okay? Instead of just hoping for the best, okay? And hoping for the best is a good strategy. Accepting where you are is a good strategy. But most of what standard medicine is going to try to do is they're going to try to create a vaccine. And that vaccine is to try to give you immunity to the virus, which is cool. Okay, having immunity to a virus is certainly helpful. Okay, but it's not addressing the overall tissue health. Okay, it's not addressing the overall white blood cell count. Okay, it's not addressing the overall amount of bacteria in your body and the overall amount of viruses in your body that are already there. It's not really doing much to address specifically innate immune function. And it is helping with adaptive immune function, and it may be useful, but I got to tell you, for some people, a vaccine will only work if they have the capacity to upregulate this story in here. Okay, if they don't have a lot going on there already, a vaccine isn't going to do a whole lot. And a lot of people are very immunologically depleted. And you can look at this by looking at your white blood cell count. If it's less than 5, you're already starting to show depletion of your immune system. Okay? So what can we do? Can we do some things that absolutely can influence your immune count and make it go up a little bit more? Yes. Okay. Can we do some things to influence the amount of total bacteria in your body that can compete against viruses that are healthy for you? Yeah, we can do that. It's something called short-chain fatty acids. Okay. Can we do some things to reduce the overall viral burden right now before you actually get contracted with this other virus, which is highly contagious? Yeah, there's some things we can do there. Okay, but can we make sure that we do that in a way that doesn't create more cell tissue antibodies? And this is where it's so important that I just don't give you a protocol that's antiviral. Does that make sense? Are y'all following me there? Okay. The other thing is, can we prevent, is there anything in the research that suggests we can support healthy function inside of a cell here, so that the virus has less opportunity to replicate? And there are things that can do that, like things like turmeric can do that, things like resveratrol can do that, things like glutathione can do that, things like NAC can do that, okay? So one thing that I am recommending, okay, is that if you have the genetics to tolerate NAC, is that you get yourself some NAC, okay? Now, the NAC that we like for most people is liposomal delivery so that you can absorb it very well, okay? And so that's in a product called trisomal glutathione. Glutathione does other things too. Now, acetylated glutathione is also in trisomal glutathione. Without getting all the specifics of that, that's the best option here. Something called glutathione recycler could also help this quite a bit, okay? There is things that support innate immune function. Innate immune function is going to be the thing that gets to the virus, hopefully before it can infect tissue once it gets past your skin. Okay, things like reishi mushroom can help that. Things like vitamin C can help that. That's what you see those vitamin C packets out there for, okay? Things like astragalus can do that. Things like ashwagandha can do that. Okay, so things like skullcap can do that. And so the idea is there some stuff that you can do for innate immune function? Yeah. Okay, is there some stuff you can do to stop the replication here? Yeah. Is there some stuff you can do to help the immune system activate and kill viruses? Yes. Is there stuff you can do to stop immune cells or to help them modulate and attack viruses but not attack so much healthy tissue? Okay, that's supporting something called the T regulatory cell? Yes. Okay. Is there anything else that we can do to affect inflammation to create a different environment to make your immune system more happy and healthy? It's called NF-kappa B signaling. It's yes. Okay, that's things like turmeric and resveratrol. Okay. Things that support the T regulatory cells so that you don't attack healthy tissue are things like vitamin D, vitamin A, and glutathione, short-chain fatty acids, things that we've talked about, okay? Short-chain fatty acids can work up here for that. It's something called enterovite, okay? I would only consider supplements like this for you, okay, if we can try to understand where you're at on this map, okay? But ultimately, things that can stop viral replication are going to help most of you most of the time, okay, unless you don't tolerate NAC. Now, listen, I'm being very clear here. I don't treat viruses. I do not treat viruses, okay, but I can help you support immune health. I can't guarantee that you're not going to get infected, okay, but I can influence your immune system's ability to respond by supporting it very specifically, okay? The last thing I want to say is I wouldn't consider doing a bunch of supplements without basics first, okay? What are the lifestyle basics that really help what's called a Th1 response, which can help you kill viruses? Okay, sleep. Sleep. Get your sleep, okay? Like, if you're not sleeping, let me help you get some sleep, Okay, we'll figure it out. Okay, if we're doing everything we can already, maybe it's time to be more aggressive with some things to see if we can get it even better. Okay, what's one of the best things for innate immune function? Okay, one of the worst things for innate immune function is lack of sleep and too much starch and sugar and alcohol. Okay, so like now's not the time to use alcohol, sugar, and inflammatory foods. Okay, just say screw it, I need to deal with my stress and do that. Okay, now's the time not to do that. Now's not the time to go out and exercise until you drop without supporting yourself properly. Okay, exercise can also, intense exercise without proper support can negatively impact your innate immune response and negatively influence what's called your Th1 response here. Okay. Fasting can positively influence your innate immune response and positively influence your adaptive immune response, making it more vigorous. That somebody may have noticed with autoimmunity that if you fast, you actually do worse. Okay, if you fast and do worse, stimulating your innate immune response and stimulating your Th1 response might not be in your best interest. It might actually create more inflammation for you and make you less resilient to infection. So again, you can see how tricky this can get. Okay. So one idea is if you tolerate block fasting, that might be something that could really help you. So sleep, but then don't eat a bunch of starch and don't eat as much during the day. Like try to condense all of your calories into an 8-hour window. That will work if you have good absorption of fat metabolism and you don't have reactive hypoglycemia. If you fall apart doing this, do not do that. I'm not recommending you do it. I'm saying these are things that you can consider. Okay? So that's basically the main stuff I want to talk about today in regards to your immune system. Okay, if you need some help getting some N-acetylcysteine in the form of trisomal glutathione and glutathione recycler, Nancy can help you with that. We can get some things drop shipped to your home. If you need some help getting some smart silver or things that can help you with keeping your hands clean that don't necessarily involve hand sanitizer, Nancy can help you. If you're wanting some help with your innate immune system, there are products that we have that support that. Innate immune support is one. We have a Ganoderma or reishi mushroom product. Okay. We have astragalus. Okay. And we have ashwagandha. Okay. And we have andrographis. Okay, those are things that are very, very helpful for innate immune support. So all those things are available to us here. There's also something that I didn't talk about today. It used to be something called viral stop. Okay, it's called enzyme defense. And the theory is that if you take these enzymes in between meals, it allows, it just supports your immune system in clearing out. It kind of supports your innate immune system. So it functions as a proxy innate immune response. So that's something to consider. That's called viral defense. Okay. If you're wanting to help give you more robust, healthy bacterial response so that you have more bacteria helping you fend off this virus, okay, instead of just relying only on your white blood cell count that's outnumbered already, Enterovite is something that could be very useful for that, okay, that's short chain fatty acids, okay. So that's the summary for today. If you're having questions and would like to sit down with me individually to talk about this, we are going to be open. We are doing Zoom sessions, whatever we can do to support you. I want you to know that we can get through this, and we feel really good about our ability to serve you during this time. Okay, neuroendocrine immunology is a very important topic, and no more important than at this time. And I'm hoping that you found this information helpful, and we're here for you. So I look forward to our next conversation. Have a great day.